The Science of Soulmate Love, the heart set, mindset, and skill set for lasting love. Written and read by the author, Emmy Hernandez. Introduction. Love isn't luck, it's science and hard-won wisdom from a former love disaster. Take it from me. Hi, gorgeous. I'm Emmy. And if you're reading this or listening to this, lucky you that you get to listen because you're going to hear me go off script, whoop, whoop, and add some extra Emmy sass. So you're probably in one of two places. You're a badass in every area of your life except love. And you're wondering why you can crush your career goals but can't seem to crack the Find My Soulmate code. Girl, I get it. That was me. Or number two, you've had your heart stomped on one too many times, and you're starting to wonder if real, healthy, passionate love is even possible. Or you have to settle. I see you, babe, and I want you to know I was you. There was a time in my life when I was trapped in a relationship so toxic, it could have been classified as a biohazard. I had convinced myself that love meant enduring pain, that if I just proved I was enough, he would finally treat me right. Spoiler alert, he never did. And by the way, going off script here a little bit, you can go listen to some more of that on my podcast and all the details around that toxic relationship. But trust me, by the time that I got into that relationship, I was already a quote unquote badass in my career. I had already graduated from college. So I want you to know that if you've ever been stuck in a toxic relationship, it has nothing to do with your educational level and nothing to do with your IQ. Okay. So don't feel bad. Don't feel embarrassed. I tell you this as someone who missed a lot of red flags and didn't even know red flags existed. So we're going to be going through a lot of that here in this book. So if this is you or know someone who has ever gone through this, I got you covered. I ignored the red flags that were basically waving in my face like a damn parade. I lost myself trying to quote unquote fix a man who had no intention of changing. I stayed way too long. I left and went back. I left again and then went back again. And then one day, after realizing my phone had been cut off because he purposely didn't pay the bill, because he had taken over my finances, pretending to be the protector and provider. No, he just wanted control. And that way I couldn't contact anyone. I finally had my holy shit moment and I saw my reality for what it was. I was sacrificing my happiness for breadcrumbs. That was the moment everything changed. I packed up what little dignity I had left and got the hell out, and vowed to never again settle for love that felt like a battleground instead of a sanctuary. And guess what? I didn't just heal, I rewired my entire damn brain for healthy soulmate level love. Now I'm married to my dream man, Matt, a man who adores me, prioritizes me, and spoils me beyond my wildest dreams. And no, I didn't have to chase, beg, or perform for his love. He saw my worth because I finally saw it in myself. And by the way, at the time of this recording, Matt and I are about to celebrate our 5-year wedding anniversary. Okay, so we've been together for almost a decade. 8 years is close to a decade, so I always say close, almost a decade. So just so you know, this is how he still treats me. This is not a 5 day or 5 dates kind of thing. He is devoted to me and I am devoted to him. Just wanted to sneak that in there. All right, back to the script. So I want the same for you. I want you to be treated with kind love, love and respect every single day so that you can experience what I get to experience because I don't want to be selfish. I think a lot more women need to feel what I get to feel. And here's the thing, this book isn't just about manifesting love while sitting on your couch, binge watching Bridgerton, which I love Bridgerton, by the way, as entertainment, because after all, my lovelies, it is classified as drama and it is entertainment. It is not instructions for how to manifest love because every single one of those characters is all stuck in a toxic, volatile relationship. I know, I hate to break your heart, but they are not models for healthy love. But go ahead and watch Bridgerton and all the other rom-coms. God knows I do, but I don't use them as instruction zones or manuals. Again, they are just entertainment. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're diving into 3 things that will change your life forever. Okay. We're going to be talking about the heart set, the emotional foundation for love, because your heart needs to be in the right place before your soulmate can walk in. Your mindset, the beliefs and thought patterns that either magnetize or repel love. Hint, if you keep attracting emotionally unavailable men, your brain is part of the problem. Skill set, the actual art of attraction, polarity, and creating fiery, long lasting relationships because, quote unquote, winging it hasn't been working for you, has it, babe? So grab a glass of wine or matcha or tequila, I don't judge, get comfy, and let's rebuild your love life from the ground up. Chapter 1, Heart Set, the foundation of true love. The power of self love because you set the standard, babe. Before we think about finding your soulmate, we need to talk about you. Because if you don't love yourself like a damn queen, you will always attract men who treat you like a peasant. I know, I know. Self love sounds like a cheesy Pinterest quote, but real love isn't just bubble baths and face masks. I hate to break it to you. It's rewiring your nervous system to only accept love that is healthy, consistent, and deeply fulfilling. Here's an exercise for you. I want you to think about the sacred circle of relationships. Not everyone in your life, deserves front row seats to your energy. Let's categorize. Let's look at your inner circle. Who are the VIPs who uplift, support, and celebrate you no matter what? What about the middle circle? The acquaintances who are cool but need some boundaries. And the outer circle, the energy drainers who need to be loved from a distance. I have someone like that that's in my inner circle, and it's my mother. She needs to be loved at a distance because she doesn't know how to celebrate me. And she was my number one bully growing up, a huge, huge criticizer. So I had to have some really strict boundaries for her and love her from a distance. So now I want you to take a hard look. Who are the people closest to you reflecting the love that you want to attract? If not, it's time for some upgrades. The science of heart coherence. Yes, your heart is smarter than you think. Did you know your heart has its own brain? Like, no, seriously. According to the Heart Math Institute, your heart has 40,000 neurons that send signals to your brain and influence your emotions, intuition, and even the energy you project to others. When your heart and brain are in coherence, you become a love magnet. When they're out of sync because of past trauma, fear, or stress, or whatever it may be, even generational trauma that has been passed down, may I say so myself? I have 2 hands up. You unintentionally repel healthy love. So here's how to achieve heart coherence for love. You're going to start practicing with your heart focused breathing. Okay, so if you're driving, don't do this right now, but I'm going to show you an exercise that you can listen to later on as a recode as just an audio. Okay, when you're in a safe place, you can do a deep meditation. But for now, I'm just going to give you the brief exercises. So you're going to close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, and you're going to breathe slowly. Take a deep breath in and exhale. You feel gratitude and love flow in and flow out. You're going to attach this with elevated emotions. You're going to shift into joy, appreciation, and trust. So even if you don't have your soulmate yet, which is probably why you're listening to this, you're going to shift into the joy of everything that is going right in your life. The appreciation for the fact that you get to listen to this, the appreciation for the fact that you have the gift of being alive, and just trusting whatever it is that you believe in. Do you believe in God, the universe? Do you believe in your own badassery? In being able to get anything and everything you want? Yeah, girl, get it. So instead of anxiety and doubt, because it's really easy to go into anxiety and doubt of something that you haven't seen yet, maybe even those around you. I know there was no one around me that I knew was in a soulmate love relationship, but that doesn't mean that you can't create it. We're also going to be doing intention setting. As you breathe in, you're going to repeat, I am open to receiving soulmate love effortlessly. Because, girl, love does not have to be a battlefield. I know all the songs tell us that, true love, blah, 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 it's got to be painful. No, that's all bullshit. So here's what's important for you to understand. This isn't woo woo nonsense. Science shows that your electromagnetic heart field literally affects the energy around you. So if you are walking around with walls up and men are trash attitude, guess what? You're going to keep attracting the same old nonsense. And girl, when you get together with your girlfriends for drinks in the evenings or on the weekends or brunch, if y'all are talking about how men are trash and how so and so cheated and how so and so did something else, and you consistently talk about how men are so horrible and they're all cheaters and they're all bad and there are no good men left as you're swiping, go trying to figure out how to go on your next date. That's called an inner civil war. Guess what? We got to change that attitude and potentially even some of those friends, because you got to set yourself up for success with what we're talking about here. You can't say one thing and expect another thing in return, because you are accidentally repelling good men, right? I mean, I told you I'm not going to, this is no nonsense here, no BS. I'm going to tell it to you straight. So, how do we go into healing old wounds? Because unhealed trauma attracts unhealed men. Take it from someone who had a lot of unhealed trauma. We don't just attract who we want, we attract who we are. If you keep attracting emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, or toxic partners, your nervous system might be wired to associate chaotic love with quote unquote passion. Oh. Spoiler alert, it's not passion, it's your trauma talking. So here's an important exercise that I want to walk you through. It's called the forgiveness letter exercise. So this is important for you to be able to do this in a place where you can journal. And I'm just going to walk you through all this. You can always save it for later. If you can do this right now, I highly recommend you do this right now. I want you to write a letter to yourself, forgiving yourself for your past choices in love. Yes, you're forgiving yourself. And I want you to write another letter, forgiving your past partners. Yes, even the one who ghosted you after meeting his mom. So, what's important about this is that you are going to be forgiving yourself and the version of yourself that got hurt in that space, because all of that was valid. You're going to either burn or safely dispose of these letters as a symbolic release. Okay. So this is not about going and talking to your past partners. No, I don't want you texting them. No, I don't want you calling them. No, I don't want you stalking them on IG or Facebook, girl. I see you. Stop. Put the phone down. You are going to make sure that this is for you. The forgiveness exercise is for you. It has nothing to do with forgiving them for hurting you. It has to do with you choosing to move on and not letting them dictate your future. Healing isn't just about letting go. It's about making room for what's coming next. Here's some closing thoughts for chapter 1. Babe, self-love isn't a cute trend. It's your foundation. A woman who fully loves herself does not tolerate half-hearted love. A woman who values her energy does not entertain men who drain her. A woman who heals her past wounds stops repeating painful love cycles. Do this work, and I promise you won't just attract love, you'll attract the right love. Chapter 2. Mindset Mastery, Rewiring Your Brain for Soulmate Love. All right, gorgeous. Now that we've laid the foundation for heart set, it's time to tackle the real MVP of your love life, your brain. Because here's the hard truth. If your mind isn't wired for love, you will sabotage even if the perfect man is standing right in front of you. Ever wonder why you keep attracting emotionally unavailable men? Feel anxious or skeptical when things aren't too good? You sabotage relationships right when they start getting serious? Spoiler alert, it's not because all men suck. It's because your brain is designed for survival, not happiness. Your brain is built to keep you safe, not to help you find love. I know, I'm sorry. It's all about safety and survival. So, your brain's main job isn't to make you sure to get swept off your feet in a fairy tale romance. Nope. Your brain's number one job is to protect you from pain. So if you've been burned by love before, your brain registers relationship as capital letters, danger, danger, danger. This means that even if you say you want a loving, committed partner, your nervous system might be wired to attract what feels familiar, aka emotionally unavailable man, if that's what you grew up seeing, aka the bad boys show, because it feels sexy to have that in the moment, and then you wonder why they ghosted. You also push away safe, stable love, calling them boring because your body doesn't recognize it as normal. It feels foreign. And you also sabotage healthy relationships because deep down, your subconscious believes love equals pain. Translation to all this: if love has historically hurt you, your brain will do everything in its power to make sure you don't get hurt again, even if that means keeping love out completely. How to rewire your brain for love instead of fear. Now, before you freak out and think, oh my God, I'm doomed forever, relax, babe. The brain is 100% rewireable. Just like you can program a computer, you can program your subconscious mind to attract, receive, and maintain healthy love. Here's how. I got you covered. Step one, identify your subconscious love blueprint. Your blueprint is a set of beliefs about love that you unconsciously absorbed from childhood, past relationships, and societal conditioning. And these beliefs, they shape your love life, whether you realize it or not. If your parents had a healthy, loving marriage, your blueprint is probably solid. If you grew up in chaos, betrayal, or emotionally neglect, your blueprint may need an upgrade. Girl, I know I needed a major upgrade in my blueprint. So if this is you, keep listening. Try this. Identify your love beliefs. Grab a journal and complete these sentences without overthinking. 1. Love is blank. Fill it in. Men are blank. Remember, these are what are the first words that come to your mind without overthinking. Relationships always blank. In love, I always blank. I attract partners who blank. Big clue: if your answers are full of words like hard, painful, temporary, disappointing, these are the unconscious beliefs running your love life. But don't worry, we're about to upgrade them. Step two, rewire your love blueprint with new beliefs. Now, let's replace these old limiting beliefs with new empowering ones. Old belief: all men cheat. New belief: healthy men are loyal and committed. Old belief: love is hard work. New belief: love flows to me easily and effortlessly. Old belief: I have to prove my worth to be loved. New belief: I am worthy of soulmate love exactly as I am. Now try this. I'm going to give you the love recode exercise. That is how I have and helped hundreds of my clients rewire their love blueprint and their brain and their body to call in soulmate love. Okay. You are going to have access to this recode. We can rewire this in another audio file that's separate from this. So make sure you go find that in the assets that myself and my team have sent over to you. We're going to keep going in this book so that you can have this audio. You feel free to go listen to that audio right now, and you can play it every single day until you feel it and know it deep in your nervous system. Right now, we're going to keep going in the book, and you have that audio file to listen to whenever you want. You're welcome. Step 3. Stop seeking validation chemistry, aka trauma bonds in disguise. If you've ever felt instantly overwhelmingly attracted to someone only for the relationship to turn toxic and painful, you might be mistaking chemistry for familiarity. Quote unquote chemistry is often just your nervous system recognizing an old pattern. This is why so many women end up with the same type of emotionally unavailable men. It feels exciting and magnetic, but what's really happening is that your body is responding to an old familiar wound. Here's a solution. Instead of chasing fireworks, start looking for peace, safety, and consistency. At first, healthy love might feel boring, but that's because your nervous system is used to chaos. Reminder, peace is not boring, it's just unfamiliar. And unfamiliar can be rewired into normal. And by the way, going off script here, my love life with my partner and my amazing husband is not boring. We had a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry. Here's the difference though, that it wasn't just lust. Okay. So you, my lovely, probably had experiences where there's chemistry, but it's just lust. You don't really have anything else in common. Those are the ones that I want you to be wary of, because you can have lust and values with your partner. Okay. So this is not about like, oh, with your partner who's healthy, it's going to be boring. No, BS. Okay. You can have chemistry and matching values. This is about being wary about those relationships that are just chemistry and lust and nothing else. You know what I'm talking about. Step 4. I want you to upgrade your inner love identity. All right. So here's what we're going to be talking about. You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are, right? So if you see yourself as, I'm going to list a few of them here. Unlucky in love, you'll keep attracting disappointment. If you think or you've ever heard you're too much, you'll attract people who can't handle your full expression. If you feel like you're not worthy of devotion, you'll attract men who treat you like an option and not like a queen. But when you start seeing yourself as a high value woman, you attract men who cherish and prioritize you. You set boundaries without fear of rejection, and you naturally embody soulmate love before he even shows up. Now try this. We're going to shift into your soulmate self. Ask yourself, how would I walk, talk, and show up if I already had my dream relationship? How would I carry myself if I knew my soulmate was already on his way? How would I date if I fully trusted that love was inevitable? Embody that version of you now. The sooner you do, the sooner your reality will catch up. Some final thoughts on chapter 2. Your brain is a love magnet, so make sure it's attracting the right kind of love. Babe, your mind is powerful. It's either your greatest love coach or your biggest saboteur. So let's choose to make it work for you, not against you. You now have the tools to recognize the limiting love beliefs, stop chasing toxic chemistry, and start embracing healthy attraction. Embody the version of you who effortlessly attracts soulmate love. So the next step is to rewire your nervous system for love. And for that, you have the audio that I'm giving here to you in this love file as well, because this is how we're going to be rewiring your subconscious. Remember, on a daily basis, your subconscious runs 70 to 90% of your life. Your unconscious, your autopilot is running most of your life. So this is where we're going to be rewiring that part of you so you don't have to rely on your willpower. Okay, go find that file and listen to that now. Chapter 3. Manifestation and quantum love attraction. How to use science, energy, and manifestation to magnetize your soulmate. All right, gorgeous. Now that we've rewired your heart set and mindset, it's time to supercharge your love life with manifestation and quantum attraction. Yes, we're about to get a little woo woo. Welcome, but stay with me. This isn't just fluffy, think positive, and love will appear nonsense. This is real, science backed manifestation that actually works. And trust me, when I finally figured this out, everything changed for me. The science behind manifestation and attraction. First, let's clear up a big misconception. Manifestation is not about wishing, hoping, or waiting. It's about aligning your energy, thoughts, and actions with what you desire so that your soulmate love becomes inevitable. This isn't magic, it's neuroscience, quantum physics at work. I call it magic sometimes because let's face it, a lot of the recode stuff that we do feels like magic. So I like to call it magic anyway. It's the magic of you being aligned to your greatest desires, your faith, and the galaxies and the universe because I love I love me some woo woo stuff, and we're gonna be talking about that too. So if you're woo woo, you're welcome, and if you're neuroscience, you're welcome. I'm putting them all together in one place. All right, back to the script. Neuroscience brain literally creates your reality. Fact, your brain has a built-in system called the RAS, reticular activating system, which acts like a filter. The RAS only shows you things that align with what you focus on most. If you believe all men are trash, guess what? Your RAS will highlight every emotional, unavailable, toxic dude around. But if you start believing healthy, committed men are everywhere, your RAS will literally help you notice them more. Your brain is a love magnet. Make sure it's attracting the right kind of love. Quantum physics, the observer effect, and energy alignment. Now, let's get nerdy with quantum physics. Big nerd alert, nerd alert. That's me. So if you're here for some nerdy stuff, I got you covered. The observer effect. One of the most famous quantum experiments proves that what we focus on changes reality. Translation, your thoughts, emotions, and energy send out signals that influence what shows up in your life. When you shift your vibration to match soulmate love, you naturally start attracting people and experiences that align with that energy. This is why women who radiate self worth and confidence have men lined up to treat them like queens, while women who expect disappointment keep attracting heartbreak. It's not a coincidence, it's physics. The step by step manifestation process for love. All right, let's get practical. Here's how you actually manifest soulmate love. Step one, get crystal clear on what you want. You can't manifest love if you don't even know what it looks like. Grab a journal and answer these questions. How do you want to feel in your soulmate relationship? Next question. What are the core qualities of the man you desire? Next. What are the values that you hold deeply true in your heart and that your soulmate also values? Next. How does he treat you on a daily basis? Extra hint here, even on his quote unquote bad days. How does he treat you when he's having a bad day? How does he treat you when you're having a bad day? Next, how do you spend time together? Pro tip, focus on the experience of love, not just a checklist of traits. I see this going off script here a little bit. I see this mistake a lot with people who are making their list of what they want because they're just told, make a checklist. the checklist of traits doesn't really work really well. So instead of, I want a tall, rich man with a six pack, it's pretty superficial, by the way. Try, I want a man who is deeply devoted to me, makes me feel emotionally safe, and passionately adores me. So one of the things I like to tell my clients is, when they tell me like, Emmy, well, I have to be attracted to him. And I say, absolutely. Right. So what I want you to put here instead of like, he's got to be hot, is I am extremely attracted to him and he is extremely attracted to me. Right. A lot of the ladies, here's some other examples, are like, oh, he has to be a specific height. I don't want you focusing on specific height. The more specific you are about traits, the more you're going to attract men who are worried about traits as well. Right. So if you're so stuck on he's got to be 6 foot and taller, that means he's going to be focused on you have to be a certain weight. And that just gets us into like super dangerous territory, right? So I want you to think of then putting on your list, he is a perfect height for me, right? Because then the universe gets to decide how tall he is for you, but he's a perfect height for you. All right. So this isn't about like not being clear about what you want, but it's more around the clarity about how you want to feel in his presence and what you do. How much time together do you spend on a weekly basis? On the weekends, what do you do? Do you travel? Do you not? Like, do you, what is it that makes you feel loved and adored and devoted to, and how he can show up for you? Okay. Clarity equals attraction power, but it has to be the right kind of clarity and the right kind of emotional list. Okay. So your list has to evoke something in you, not just a checklist. Step 2, embody the version of you who already has it. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Yes, you're hearing me say this and you're thinking, Emmy, you already said that like twice or 3 times or 4 times. I'm going to keep saying it, babe. Because repetition is the mother of learning. So if you want soulmate love, you need to start being the version of you who already has it. Okay. How does soulmate you walk, talk, and show up in the world? How does she date? How does she set boundaries? Are you showing up to dates like you are showing up for an interview? Are you analyzing everything? Or are you showing up the feminine, playful version of you who is cautiously optimistic, right? You can show up on dates. You're not oversharing too many details that could potentially be dangerous because, after all, this is a stranger. But how do you show up as a version of you who already knows that this is about, do you like him, not waiting to be validated and showing up like, I hope he likes me. Right? How does she treat herself? Do you take yourself out to lunches? Do you take yourself out to dinners? Do you snuggle in bed with a book and a candle? Do you pleasure her in your body? How are you taking care of you now? Embody her now, and love will meet you there. Step 3, use future memory visualization. Your brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and reality. So the more you quote unquote experience love in your mind, the faster you attract it. So this is not just about having it be in your mind, by the way. Your heart needs to experience this as well. If this is just in your head, it's not going to work. That's why we start with the heart set. The heart set is the most important part of all of this. You feeling love is more important than you thinking love. Try this, the future memory exercise. Close your eyes and visualize your dream relationship as if it's already happening. See yourself laughing, cuddling, and traveling with your soulmate. Feel the emotions of being loved, cherished, and adored. I want you to repeat daily to rewire your brain for love. Science fact, athletes who mentally rehearse winning perform better than those who don't. The same principle works for love. Step 4, align your actions with your desires. You can't just sit on your couch visualizing love while ignoring every guy who asks you out. Manifestation requires action. I'm going to repeat this because this is very important. And this is one of the main things that a lot of people miss from the movie, The Secret. They miss the action part. Okay, you have to take inspired action. If you want love, you need to start living like a woman who expects it. Open yourself to meeting new people. Say yes to aligned opportunities. Stop entertaining men who aren't meeting your standards. Think of it like ordering from a restaurant. You ordered a steak, but a waiter brought you burnt toast. You wouldn't accept it. Same with love. If you're serious about soulmate love, stop entertaining low quality relationships. Step 5, let go and trust the process. This is the hardest step. Okay, breathe in with me. Breathe. Exhale. But it's essential. Once you've set your intentions, done the work, and aligned your energy, let go. So I don't mean quit. I'm going to repeat that. I don't mean quit. I mean surrender. Surrender to the process. Surrender to the universe taking care of all this for you, whatever your faith is. Don't obsess, don't overanalyze, don't stress about when or how it will happen. Because, honey, that's not your job. The when or the how, you have no control over. That's God and the universe's job, okay? So stop taking over somebody else's job. Your job is to feel the love now and to live like that already. You have to trust that love is already on its way to you. I get it. And that's how I'm going to repeat it. It is the hardest step, but it is absolutely essential. And baby girl, as someone who has ADHD and autism and wants to control every aspect of my life, I can tell you this was difficult to do. But if you also choose to let it be easy, let it be fun, let it be playful, it changes everything. Because the moment you start doubting, you block it. And here's the thing, I'm going to be fully honest with you here. I still doubt it a lot, okay? So this isn't about you believing in it 100% of the time. But if you can give yourself 60% of the time or 60% of the day, you're already way ahead of the game. Because guess what? You're going to have moments of doubt. You're going to have those first dates that didn't go so well. You're going to have your heart broken and you have to keep going, okay? You're going to have those moments of fear and anger. And girl, I got to tell you, about 4 months before I met Matt, I met someone who I thought was really special. It turned out it was not the case. And I was angry with God and the universe. Pretty sure I still have my journal entry of me writing some not so nice things to God. And it was just 4 months before I met Matt. Okay. But I want you to know that it's going to be a roller coaster. But if you choose to be on that adrenaline rush and know and expect that there are going to be some dips, then you know you're going to keep going back on those highs. Okay. So here are some final thoughts on that for you. Love isn't a chase, it's an alignment. You don't have to chase, force, or manipulate love. When you rewire your mind for soulmate love, embody the version of you who attracts devotion effortlessly, align your thoughts, energy, and actions with your desires, love becomes inevitable. Because, babe, you were never meant to beg for love. You were meant to be chosen, and you were also meant to choose your aligned partner. Chapter 4, The Skill Set of Love. How to date and build lasting connection. The science of attraction, communication, and relationship success. All right, Queen. Now that you've mastered heart set, mindset, and manifestation, it's time to talk about the actual skills of dating, attraction, and creating a healthy, passionate relationship that stands the test of time. Because let's be real, knowing what you want is great, but if you don't know how to date, connect, and communicate effectively, love will keep slipping through your fingers. Let's change that. Men and women have different brains. Here's why that matters. If you've ever felt like men are from another planet, you're not wrong. A science fact for you. Men and women have biologically different brains, which means we process emotions, connection, and communication completely differently. The male brain versus the female brain, a cheat sheet. The male brain is dominated by a dopamine driven. What does that mean? They are focused, goal-oriented, and task-based. Now, does that mean the female brain can't do that? Absolutely not. It's just their number one driving factor. Now, the female brain, the number one driving factor is the oxytocin. Okay, we are oxytocin driven. That means that the number one most important thing for us is connection oriented and emotionally attuned. Again, this does not mean that we can't focus or be goal oriented or task based, and also vice versa. It does not mean that the male brain does not seek oxytocin and connection as well. It's just we have different driving factors. Men's brain run on dopamine, which means they get highly focused on one thing at a time, whether it's work, a hobby, and if you're lucky, you, right? Which is what happens when you're in a soulmate love relationship. Women's brain, however, run on oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Okay. And when done right, and when you're with the right person, you will both bond with oxytocin and have that bonding hormone. We thrive on connection, deep conversations, and emotional attunement. And here's the thing with your soulmate, he will also thrive on connection, deep conversations, and emotional attunement. So, this is why, and this is important for you to know. A man will zone in on one task and forget everything else. And no, he's not ignoring you. His brain is literally wired like this. A woman will remember every emotional detail of a conversation. Yes, including that thing he said 3 months ago. Understanding this will save you years of frustration in dating and relationships. So here's how we apply this: the art of attraction and how to date like a high value woman. Attraction isn't all about looks, it's about your energy and presence. Men fall for women who radiate confidence and self worth, know how to lean back and receive, are playful, engaging, and emotionally secure. So let's break down the skills that make you irresistible. Number one, the skill of feminine energy. Stop over functioning in love. High achieving, successful woman, this one's for you. And ladies, this was the main thing I had to work on as someone who already had a thriving career in the tech space in Silicon Valley and traveled the world and got paid to travel the world and was speaking on stages as large as audiences of 10,000 people. I was killing it. And it was also killing my feminine energy when I went on dates. Okay, so let me break it down for you. This is not about not being a badass. Okay, you continue being your badass self, girl power. Okay, but this is about how can you shift into receiving energy when you're on dates and with relationships. Okay, this is about learning that balance. So if you're killing it in your career but struggling in love, it's likely because you're leading with masculine energy in your relationships. And this is not about stopping it altogether. This is just a balance, okay? Just a balance. Think of it as a different hat you wear for different occasions. So this is what over functioning looks like. You're taking the lead, always planning the dates, texting first, etc. Over giving, doing too much too soon to prove your value, and trying to quote unquote convince a man to choose you. Oof. Men fall in love when they feel like they're earning, capital letters, earning your attention. Okay. So here's how we go into the feminine shift. I want you to learn the art of leaning back and let him pursue, let him court you. Okay. We don't want to chase and we also don't want to be chased. So men who are insisting on going out with you and you're not interested, that's actually a sign of someone who's toxic, because a high value man will ask you out once and you say no, then that's it. They're done because they actually value your words. What? Yes. So we're not playing these games of you play hard to get. But you are understanding the art of courtship. Okay, so you're going to lean back and let him pursue and court you. Receive with grace. Let him open doors. Appreciate that he opened the door. Let him plan dates. Take the initiative. And this isn't about you saying, like, oh, well, he has to do all of it. No. Like, I'll give you an example on the first date with me and Matt. On the first part of our date, we went to a pizza shop. We each got one slice of pizza. And because that's all we wanted. I always keep it nice and simple on the first dates, nothing too over the top, because if the date's not going well, you can excuse yourself, my lovely. Your time is too valuable. And then we went to a second place. So Matt paid for everything on the first part of the date. And the second place, I said, can I please get our drinks? Right. And he graciously accepted. He said, oh, okay, that'd be great. Right. So this is not about the guy who has to pay for everything. No, but this is about that give and take and that duality, that balance of you knowing that even though you're a badass, you can have someone who knows you're a badass and loves that you're a badass and brags that you're a badass, and he still wants to take care of you. All right. This is where you can express your desires, then let him step up. He wants to be your hero. I'm going to repeat that. Your soulmate love partner wants to be your hero. Healthy men want to be your heroes. They want to see you smile. They want to do things to make you happy. A high value woman does not chase, she chooses. A high value woman does not chase. So, this whole trend of like, go ahead and shoot your shot, don't do that, girl. There is a way of flirting to set it up so that the guy has permission. Okay, so he knows that you're not going to turn him down. So set him up for success for permission to ask you out. It's very different than you abruptly saying, well, this is what I want, so I'm going to go get him. Yeah, but if you're shooting the shot and taking the lead from the very beginning, then he's never going to take the lead on anything. And here you are, 5 years married with 2 kids, and then you wonder why he doesn't step up. Yikes. I hear this a lot from women, okay? So stop taking the lead from the very beginning, even though it feels sexy or you feel like you have control. Because here's the thing. If a man is super excited that you're taking control from the very beginning, that means he's never going to step up later. Ooh, the truth shall set you free. Number 2, the skill of magnetic communication. Speak so he listens and connects. Most women make the mistake of talking to men the way they talk to their girlfriends. Why? Because we bond over oxytocin. So we like to talk all over each other and we interrupt. That's how we bond. And then wonder why he's not opening up. Men need space to process emotions. They are not wired to instantly access their feelings like women are. So here's what not to do. Bombard him with multiple questions at once. Do not interrupt when he's thinking. Do not interrupt when he's talking. Do not demand emotional answers immediately. So what works best instead? Ask one specific question at a time. Pause and shut the peep up and let him answer. Resist the urge to fill this space and resist the urge to fill the silence. His brain needs time to process. And here's the thing. Men who are pausing to process, that's a good thing. That means he respects you. So remember, we're talking about the romantic setting here. So for those of you who are going into like, well, what do you mean? All this stuff. I am not talking about work. I am not talking about your multi-million-dollar contracts. Okay. I'm not talking about what we do in corporate and what we do in our business. This is just around love. Okay. The hat you wear and the hat I wear when I'm on stage talking to 500 people is very different than the hat I wear when I'm alone with my husband. Okay. So this is the different communication standards that I want you to start thinking about and practicing. Number 3, the power of the sacred pause. Ask and wait. Have you ever asked a man a question only to get silence? Do not assume he's ignoring you. Do not rephrase the question out of impatience. Men process emotions slower than women. Give him time. Try this. Next time you ask him something, pause and wait. Example. Babe, what do you think about going to my sister's wedding? Also, did you like that restaurant? Oh, and should we book that trip? That sounds like me, especially with ADHD. I have a gazillion things going on in my head at the same time. But if I can do it, ladies, I promise you, you can. So here's what his brain just got overloaded and shut down because he doesn't know which question is most important and which one you actually want him to answer. And if you've ever done that accidentally to a guy, he's likely to answer the last question because it was the one that was most prevalent, and you might think he didn't care about, then you might think, oh, he doesn't want to go to my sister's wedding. No, it has nothing to do with that. Instead, say, hey, babe, what do you think about going to my sister's wedding? Pause. Let him answer. Cool. Did you like that restaurant? Pause. Let him answer you. Result. He feels safe, heard, and actually enjoys talking to you. Here's a quick hint as well. Since we as women are wired to bond with oxytocin and how we chat with our girlfriends, we interrupt a lot. And we do that as a way of sharing our love and support, and we're big cheerleaders. That's how the female brain is wired. The male brain is wired so that they feel actually disrespected if you interrupt them, even if you're agreeing. Okay. Even if you're agreeing, even if you're being his cheerleader, I want you to learn the art of pausing. And if you have a question, keep it inside your head until he's done with that sentence, done with the entire thought. The more you pause and the more you learn the sacredness of this, the more he will communicate with you. A lot of men will stop communicating because when you interrupt, their brain shuts down and they think that you are disrespecting them. I know it sounds crazy and it sounds weird, but trust me on this, the more you practice, the better. So I had to practice all of this with my father and my siblings that are boys and men now, way before I got to practice with my lover. And I have to tell you, it was life-changing because now the bond that I have with other men is amazing because I learned this art. And by the way, I do practice this in corporate meetings and how I train women how to negotiate with men as well. It changes everything. So I'm so excited that you're learning this now. Number 4, the art of setting boundaries without pushing him away. A high value woman has standards and isn't afraid to communicate them. Scarcity mindset. I don't want to scare him off, so I'll tolerate bad behavior. High value mindset. If he's the right man for me, my standards won't scare him. They'll inspire him. Boundaries. Don't push the right men away. They push the wrong ones away. Okay. That's what boundaries do. Any boundaries that you set will definitely push the wrong ones away. And that's what we want. We want to repel the wrong men. So try this. Express boundaries like a queen. Don't say, you're always on your phone. You never pay attention to me. Do say, I love spending time with you. Can we have a phone-free dinner? And your tone and energy and your smile will have everything to do with this. So you notice my tone is, I love spending time with you. Can we have a phone-free dinner? See the difference? I want you to express what you desire, not just what you don't like. Okay. Number 5, the good men exist mindset, because they do. If you believe all men are trash, then your brain will only notice evidence to support that belief. Guess what? Because your brain doesn't want you to think you're crazy. So it has to keep giving you evidence of you being right. Your reticular activating system filters out information that doesn't align with your beliefs. If you start believing good committed men are everywhere, your RAS will start noticing them more. Try this. I want you to go on an evidence spree, evidence collection. Here's your evidence collection exercise. For the next 7 days, look for evidence of men who are good. A man holding a door open for his wife. A guy being sweet to his girlfriend in public. A happy, thriving couple. Train your brain to recognize healthy love. The more you choose to look for this, I want you to see it like you're hunting. You're hunting the evidence. You're hunting the evidence. And the more you look, the more your brain will find, because that is what you're focused on finding. Final thoughts on this chapter. Love is a skill, not luck. Attraction, connection, and lasting love are not random. Love is a skill set that can be learned. Now that you know how to tap into your feminine energy so men feel inspired to pursue you, communicate in a way that makes him open up instead of shutting down, set boundaries with confidence and grace, shift your mindset to see and attract good men, babe, You are too powerful, too radiant, and too damn worthy to settle for anything less than soulmate love. Chapter 5: Building a passionate, long lasting relationship. How to keep the spark alive and create deep emotional connection. All right, Queen, you've mastered the art of dating, attraction, and communication. But now let's talk about what happens after you've met your soulmate. Because here's the truth: attracting love is one thing, keeping it alive is another. Ever wonder why some couples stay madly in love for decades while others slowly drift apart? It's not luck, it's not magic, it's a set of skills. And when you master these skills, your relationship will feel fresh, exciting, and deeply connected no matter how many years pass. Now, here's the science of long term attraction. Let's bust a big myth. Passion always fades over time. Reality: passion fades when people stop prioritizing what created it in the first place. So here's the thing: attraction is not just chemistry, it's also a mix of emotional safety, feeling secure, seen, and understood, masculine and feminine polarity, keeping desire alive, continuous growth, and novelty, because routine kills attraction. And I'm going to make a side note here. I want you to know that when I talk about passion and intimacy, I mean so much more than just sex. Okay. So a lot of the sexual drive might diminish a little bit just because you don't have that initial sort of like lust, but that doesn't mean the passion and love for each other goes away. And there are multiple ways of creating intimacy. All right. Side note closed. So, number one, polarity. Keeping desire alive long term. Attraction is fueled by the dance of masculine and feminine energy. Remember, masculine energy equals direction, purpose, leadership. Feminine energy equals flow, receptivity, and playfulness. And by the way, all human beings on the planet have masculine energy and feminine energy. This has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with what you're focused on in that moment. It just so happens that more women at their core need flow, receptivity, and playfulness, but not necessarily the case, okay? We can all be very different. So, a common mistake in long term relationships is the following: that women shift into masculine mode and men stop leading. So, instead of let's split everything 50-50, I'll take care of it, I don't need help, or I don't need your help, why don't you ever plan dates? Try the following: I love when you take charge. It's so sexy. You always make me feel safe and cherished. I trust you to lead on this. Men step up when they feel needed. Let him be your man. Let him be your hero. I'm going to repeat this. Men need to feel needed, 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 and appreciated. If they are appreciated for him just being your hero on a regular basis and your energy is that he's your hero, he will continue to do the things that make you feel appreciated and vice versa. Number two, the power of novelty, because routine kills attraction. Do you want to keep the passion alive forever? Then you need to keep things fresh, exciting, and unpredictable. Science fact: novelty releases dopamine, the same chemical responsible for early attraction. When couples stop trying new things together, the relationship starts feeling stale. Example: you're going to the same restaurant every week. You're doing date night the same way, dinner and movie, dinner and a movie, dinner and a movie, or you're just sitting on the couch, even though it feels comfy. Try this: the adventure challenge. Each partner picks a new experience, something neither of you have done before, a surprise date night. One person plans it, the other shows up, or a sexy challenge. Flirt, tease, and seduce each other like you just met. How to be his ultimate dream woman without losing yourself. Let's get one thing straight: a high value woman never loses herself in a relationship. Because guess what? You are not a half of anything. You are not looking for your other half. You are already a whole, and you're looking for another person who is a whole, autonomous human being. The happiest couples, both partners have their own passions, friendships, and purpose. Okay. One of the biggest relationships killers is becoming merged and losing your individuality. Keep your own hobbies and interests, stay close to your friends and community, keep growing as an individual. Men stay obsessed with women who are fulfilled, confident, and radiate joy. Chapter 6: Narcissistic Abuse and Red Flags to Watch For. How to Spot, Avoid, and Heal from Toxic Relationships. So, side note here, going off script here a little bit, I told my team we needed to add this chapter to this book because so many of the women I know, and including myself, were stuck in a relationship with a toxic person and didn't know how we got there, how to get out of it, or how to heal from it. Okay. I see too many women in this situation, and it's not just about calling in men who are soulmate love and who are amazing. And the problem with the narcissistic men is that very often they can feel like your soulmate in the beginning. We're going to be going into those details. And I wanted to make sure that we talked about this. I would be remiss if I did not bring this up. So, side note closed. All right, Queen, we need to have a real talk about one of the biggest threats to your love life: narcissists. If you've ever found yourself completely consumed by a whirlwind romance only to later feel drained, confused, and questioning your own reality, you may have been in the grips of narcissistic abuse. And trust me, I know this personally. Before I met my incredible husband, Matt, I was in a relationship with someone who seemed perfect at first. He was charming, attentive, intoxicating, the kind of man who made you feel like I was the only woman on earth. Then slowly, things changed. What started as adoration turned into manipulation. What felt like love became control. And before I knew it, I wasn't in love. I was trapped. So let's break it down. What is narcissistic abuse? How do you spot it before you get sucked in? What is narcissistic abuse? Narcissistic abuse is a pattern of manipulation, control, and emotional harm inflicted by a person with narcissistic traits or full-blown narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. These individuals who lack true empathy and often see their partners as objects to validate their own self-worth. A narcissist isn't looking for love. They're looking for control and admiration. And they will do whatever it takes to keep you hooked. Red flags of a narcissist. If you recognize any of these in a potential partner, run, don't walk in the opposite direction. And I mean this, babe. Number one, love bombing, AKA the trap. At first, a narcissist will shower you with extreme affection, gifts, and attention. They'll say, I love you way too soon, call you their soulmate within weeks, overwhelm you with texts, dates, and grand gestures, make you feel like you're the most special person in the world. Why? Because they need to hook you fast. Big clue: healthy love builds gradually. It doesn't feel like a drug high. If a man is rushing intimacy, it's a red flag. Gaslighting, AKA making you question reality. Once they've got you emotionally invested, the devaluation stage begins. Now, they start making subtle digs at your confidence. They'll do the following: deny things they said or did, even when you have proof. They will twist conversations to make you feel like the crazy one, blame you for everything. Example: if you weren't so sensitive, I wouldn't have to act this way. And also minimize your feelings. You're overreacting. That didn't happen the way you think. Gaslighting is designed to make you doubt your reality so they can keep controlling you. Big clue: if you often feel confused, anxious, or like you're quote unquote walking on eggshells in the relationship, you're likely being gaslit. Number three, the push-pull cycle, AKA the emotional roller coaster. One day they're sweet and affectionate, the next they're cold and distant. This is unpredictable behavior keeps you addicted to their approval. You start thinking, what did I do wrong? How can I get back in their good graces? Big clue: love shouldn't feel like a constant emotional high and crash. If someone makes you anxious one day and euphoric the next, that's not passion, it's manipulation. Number four, they never take accountability, AKA the eternal victim. A narcissist will never admit fault. Instead, they blame everyone else for their problems, refuse to take responsibility for their actions, play the victim constantly. You're the one hurting me. Make you feel guilty for even bringing up concerns. Big clue, healthy people own their mistakes. Narcissists, they rewrite history to make themselves the hero or the victim. Number 5, the sudden discard, aka the drop kick out of nowhere. After months or years of emotional chaos, they will ghost you with no warning, leave you for someone else instantly. They always have backup supply, which means very likely they've always been cheating. And also, they will act like you never existed. And the worst part, when you finally start to heal, they will hoover, try to suck you back in with a, I miss you. You're the only one who ever understood me. Girl, I fell into that trap even 2 years after I left him. It's not real. It's just another cycle. If you take them back, the abuse gets worse. Big clue, if someone suddenly cuts you off, do not go back. Block, delete, and heal. How to protect yourself from a narcissistic abuse. Number 1, trust your intuition. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Number 2, set strong boundaries. Healthy people respect no. Narcissists, oh, they love to test boundaries relentlessly. Number 3, move slowly in love. Real love builds over time. It doesn't rush intimacy, emotional or sexual. Number 4, pay attention to their actions. Words are cheap. How do they treat you when they're not trying to impress you? Number 5, have a support system. A narcissist will try to isolate you. Stay close to your friends and family. Healing from narcissistic abuse, because you will rise again, queen. If you've been in a narcissistic relationship, I want you to hear me loud and clear. It was not your fault. You are not unlovable, and you will attract healthy love. Steps to heal. These are critical, very important. Go no contact. Block them on everything. No quote unquote closure conversation needed. Next, I want you to educate yourself and rewire this. Read about narcissistic abuse so you can spot it next time. Your nervous system. Your body is wired for toxic love right now. Let's change that. Let's rebuild your confidence. The best revenge? Oh, honey, the best revenge is living your best and happiest life. And attract a healthy partner. When you heal, you stop tolerating bare minimum love. Final thoughts on this chapter. You deserve a love that feels like home, not a battlefield. Toxic love is chaotic, addictive, and painful. Soulmate love is safe, passionate, and expansive. And the fact that you're here reading this or listening to this means you are ready for the real thing. So let's claim it, let's rewire your love patterns, and let's make soulmate love normal. Because, babe, you were meant for big love. You were never meant to beg for love. Chapter 7, Becoming the Woman Who Effortlessly Attracts Soulmate Love. Your final steps to claiming the love you deserve. All right, Queen, you made it. You've done the deep inner work. You've rewired your mind. You've learned the skills of attraction, dating, and long-term love. And now it's time to step fully into the version of you who naturally attracts and sustains soulmate love. Because let's be real, this was never about just quote unquote finding a man. This is about becoming the kind of woman who doesn't chase, settle, or shrink herself for love or any other of your desires. And the good news, soulmate love isn't something you have to get. It's something you allow in by becoming aligned with it. So let's make sure you're fully aligned and ready. Here's a soulmate love checklist. Are you ready for the real thing? Go through this list and check your progress. I've healed my past wounds and released toxic patterns. I see myself as deeply worthy of healthy, committed love. I expect consistency, devotion, and emotional safety in a relationship. I communicate my desires with confidence, not fear. I've stopped chasing and I trust that the right man will step up and show up at divine timing. I have a full, happy life with or without a man. If you can say yes to most of these, congratulations, you're ready for soulmate love. But if you're still working on some of them, that's okay. This is a journey, not a race. Side note on the healing. It is my personal belief and my personal experience that you don't fully heal 100% all of your past wounds before you meet your soulmate. It is my firm belief that you heal about 60 to 70% of your past wounds and trauma, and the rest of that percentage, 20 to 30% or 40, you heal with your partner once you're already in a healthy relationship. So if you're listening to this and thinking, oh my goodness, I haven't healed everything, then you're in the right place. You do have to feel like you have made some progress on the healing journey. Side note closed. Back to the script. The high value woman's love philosophy. A woman who attracts soulmate love naturally follows a different set of rules than most. Here's what she believes and embodies. She knows her truth. She doesn't tolerate breadcrumbs, inconsistency, or toxic behavior. She lets men earn her love. She doesn't chase, she chooses. She moves with confidence. She trusts her intuition, sets boundaries with ease, and expresses her desires unapologetically. She prioritizes herself first. A relationship adds to her happiness, it does not create it. She trusts that she is inevitable and that love is inevitable. She doesn't waste time in fear, doubt, or desperation. And because of this, she attracts men who are emotionally available, commitment ready, and deeply devoted to her. And so will you. So, what are your next steps to making love inevitable? If you're serious about stepping into this new era of love, here's what I want you to do next. Number one, keep embodying the version of you who has soulmate love. Every day, ask yourself, how would I show up today if I already had my dream relationship? What choices would I make? What energy would I radiate? How would I move, speak, and date differently? Embody her now and watch love meet you there. Number two, stop entertaining low effort love. Let's make a sacred pact right now. No more breadcrumbing, no more men who don't know what they want or who are just looking for something casual. No more chasing, proving, or settling. From now on, your energy is reserved for men who show up and choose you and whom you choose. Number three, rewire your nervous system for soulmate love. Even if your mind knows what you want, your body may still be wired for toxic or unavailable love, which is why I created my free recode system so you can rewire your nervous system to attract and receive healthy, committed love. You have this recode and this rewiring audio as part of this book as well. Go find it in your link in your assets. After doing this session, you will feel safe receiving love and devotion, release any unconscious resistance to commitment, align your energy with soulmate love effortlessly. And I want you to listen to this recode daily until you bring in and call in soulmate love. Because love isn't about trying harder, it's about being aligned with the right kind of love. Final thoughts. You are always meant for this love. If you take one thing away from this book, let it be this. You were never meant to beg for love. You are a queen ready for devotion from a king. Not because you need to prove your worth, not because you twist yourself into a pretzel to make him happy, not because you do all the right things, not because you are already worthy of the love you desire. And now you are no longer wishing for love. You are ready to receive it. Your love story starts now. Are you ready to step into your soulmate love era? Would you like some of my personal guidance? I've got your back, beautiful. You can find out how to work with me directly if you like at www.soulmateloveuniversity.com. And I would be honored to be your personal love coach. True love is your birthright, and I'm here to guide you through it. It has been an honor to have you on this audio journey with me. I love you, my darling, and I can't wait to get that RSVP to your wedding.